Hello and welcome back to Wireman's Whimsy for our last alternate project using the elements from the Paper Pumpkin Kit for April. I'm going to make this little box. Now this is just the sample that I made using just some berry burst paper. I've already made the tag, and for this tag I used the For You from the Layering Leaves set. And the butterflies from the kit, and then added some brushed brass butterflies. And these strips here are just pieces that I cut off the edge of cards when I was sizing them down. So it's a great way to use up your scraps. I've also brought in just some ribbon to tie this up. And then there's the little box. So the focus of the video today is going to be on making this little box. And it's super, super easy. So I'm going to use a card base. And I'm going to cut it apart. So let's just move these things out the way. And make sure that I'm in frame for you. And I'm just going to cut this right at 4¼ on that score line. So I'm just cutting this in half. Okay, so now I've got basically the top and the bottom. So I'm just going to bump this up so we can still see. And the top, we are going to score 1 inch, excuse me, from the outside edge. So I'm just going to move my cutting blade out. I'm going to pull this into 1 inch and make sure I'm straight. Like, it's really important on these to make sure that you are square and straight. So I'm just going to score that, turn it around again at 1 inch, score it, and again 1 inch, making sure I'm straight, and then the last side at 1 inch. Okay. For the bottom, we are going to score at 1 1/8 in from the edge because we need the bottom to be slightly smaller than the top. So we're going to come in at 1 1/8, and we're going to score that again all the way around. So 1 1/8. Okay, and we're just going to keep going round at 1 1/8. If your measurements are slightly off, it will mean that your box ends might be just slightly off. You can trim them. So do your best to get your edges straight, but it's not critical. Okay, so for the tag, I used one of the Nested Essentials dies to cut out the edges of the box. If you've got a punch, then use the punch. I just used the circle from the Stylish Shapes dies. So I'm just going to run it through. There's my score lines, so I'm just going to kind of choose around the middle there. And I'm just going to use a sticky note, and I'm just going to run it through and cut both sides. So get that done, and then we'll build our box. So I hope that you've really enjoyed the series this week. This is such a fabulous kit. I had so many ideas, and I'm like, do I do extra videos? And I thought, no, I'll just keep it the same number of videos. I don't want to overwhelm everybody. But there are so many gorgeous ideas out there. Just making sure I'm kind of lined up there. I'm just going to pop that down, run it through again. And again, there's been a big burst of new subscribers and new commenters this week. Thank you so much for your support. I love how positive and how much energy this community has. I love your ideas, and you'll see me incorporate your ideas into my videos, giving credit to whoever gave me the idea. So let's just go ahead, and now we need to build this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the flaps at the end. So I'm just cutting all the way up that score line, and then I'm coming in at a very slight angle and just taking a little piece out. What this does is it helps the box go together a little bit flatter. I'm going to have to do this on this side because I can't see. just so that it doesn't get bulky around the fold. Just makes it go back, or goes together that little bit better. Okay. And we're just going to do the same. Oh, I didn't come out quite far enough. There we go. That's the top. I'm going to do the same on the bottom. And remembering that the bottom base is going to be just that little bit smaller in the middle because we came in that little bit further on the edges. So I'll just cut our pieces out here like that. And it doesn't matter if some are a little bit deeper than others. It's just wherever your scissors end up. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're just going to fold our pieces like this. And then we're going to fold our ends. And the ends are going to go inside like that. So our ends will go inside like that. And we're just going to put some tear and tape. I'm just looking at this one. Oh yeah, same as that one. It looked a little off, but it's not. It's fine. Okay, so we're going to take tear and tape. And this is left over from other paper pumpkin kits. You can use glue. You can use any kind of adhesive you want. I find that the tear and tape is the cleanest, neatest way to do this. And part of that too is because with the tear and tape, if you end up going over an edge or it's a little bit too long, you just roll it back on itself and it's fine. So we're going to do that. And it does tear really, really nicely. Okay, that's way over, so we're just going to put that like that. Okay, let's do the same with the top. We're going to do those edges. I haven't folded these edges yet, so I need to do that. I'm just going to add our tear and tape in. And then we'll come in. And this kind of pattern you can use for any size box you want. It's just a standard kind of pattern. You just score your pieces, trim off your corners a little bit, and you go from there. So I need my picky tool. There we go. And this one is just a little bit over the top, so I'm just going to roll it back on itself. It's hard to see against the white, but I'm just peeling the backs off the adhesive like this. And the reason I put it on the inside and close to the edge is because I want that nice crisp kind of edge to the box. So I'm just going to fold this in and I'm going to line up my edges like that. Fold it in and line up my edges. I'm going to fold this in, line up my edge like that, and then like that. So that is the bottom of our box, all made up. Now let's do the same thing with the top. I need to fold these over. And fold that, and fold that, and we're going to fold our end tabs in. Okay. And we're going to peel our backing off. So I have loved using this kit. I love the colors. I love how bright it is, the imagery. The only thing that I haven't used all of is the greeting tags and those large hugs. I did struggle with the large gold hugs. They seem to overwhelm the designs that I was putting together, so I just did other things. Okay, so we're folding that in, lining up our edge. Folding in and lining up our edge. And there we go. And there we go. Okay, so that is the top of our box. So this is where the magic happens. We put it together and the bottom fits in the top, and we've got those little spots to put our finger and thumb to hold that. Okay. And so now I'm just going to grab some ribbon and tie this. And I love how pretty this is. It's just gorgeous. Okay, now I'm going to take this, and there's no weight in the box, so it's going to be a bit of a pain. So I'm just going to use my tweezers to hold that first half knot in place. And I'm just going to tie this, get my pieces organized here, and then take my tweezers out. So there we go. You can leave that bow as big or make it as small as you want. You can cut your tails or leave them as they are. And I'm actually going to just trim this one off a little bit and then make this one to match. There we go. And then I'm going to take my greeting. Now, I haven't fixed this down. I wanted space so that the message could go on the back. And we just tuck that in like that. And we've got this gorgeous little gift box for you. So thank you so much for watching, and let's create together again soon.